Well, Mark, a 3-2 defeat this evening. Firstly, how are you feeling at full time?
We got what we needed to from the game. We got some players that we needed to get some minutes into: Kitchen, Wagstaff, Stevens, Bernard, McCloskey. And it gave a chance some of the younger players in the group to show what they're about. So yeah, we did. The first half we did really, really well, and then we made some silly mistakes that cost us some goals.
And when I spoke to you pre-match, you said you were going to make changes ahead of Saturday in order to keep the squad fresh. You made 10, but the boys put in a great performance. Does that show the depth you've got in the squad?
First half we good performance, but it's all right putting those performances in, but you can't keep making individual errors that give the opposition a chance in the game, and that's what we've done so far. But we're going to try and eradicate that for our first game of the season on Saturday.
And 2 goals tonight from Matty Stevens. You also said in your pre-match that games like these are not only a chance for fitness, but also a chance to give players a shot to stake a claim for Saturday. Has he put his name in the hat?
Yeah, of course. Every time you go on the pitch, you're being judged, for your place in the team. So all the boys that got minutes tonight are being judged on whether they've done enough to get in the team.
And a first glimpse of Wagstaff and obviously Kitchen, who's been injured for a lot of pre-season. Were you pleased with those boys coming back in for their first taste of competitive match?
Yeah, Kitchen looked fine. Whether he's right or ready enough for Saturday remains to be seen. Wagstaff needs a little bit more time, but he showed some really good qualities.
And you mentioned the individual mistakes. Is it fair to say that's what cost you this afternoon?
Of course, yeah, of course. Games are usually lost on individual mistakes, and the more of them you make, the more difficult it is to win games. But it's young players, learning their trade and getting their first taste of first team football, so they're entitled to make a mistake now and again.
And obviously young players has been a theme both last season and this season. It's something you enjoy working with, getting them that move potentially. They make those mistakes from time to time, but it's so important that they get those minutes and you grow them as players, isn't it? Yeah,
it's a balance, isn't it? But you need to make sure that the mix of the team is not all young, it's not all old. It's a mix so that the younger boys can flourish. And like I say, my recommendation this pre-season was that we signed 4 or 5 players that could help those younger players and have been there and seen it and done it, and that's what we've done with people like Jamil Matt, Elliot Whitehouse, Wagstaff. People like that have been there and can help the young players along.
And another one we've spotted early on this season and in pre-season, Taylor Allen, obviously someone who last season spent a lot of time out on loan, but when he did play he was a forward or a winger. He now seems to have dropped into a deeper central on that centre midfield. What's the thinking behind that?
We're not sure, and Tails is not sure what his best position is. He does a lot of things really well, so it's trying to find that little niche for him where he can flourish.
And there's another one with Vaughan Coval. It looks like he's played a few different positions under you so far. With these young players, is part of the experience is them figuring out who they are as a player, getting that identity?
Yeah, I think it's invaluable for them, getting minutes in a first team environment, getting kicked, making mistakes. The key is to how good a player they become is how quickly they eradicate the mistakes. If they don't eradicate the mistakes, then they won't play at a good level. As you grow in your journey as a player, you have to make good decisions, and that's what will determine whether they stay and get in our team or they move on.
And again, on the theme of young players, Harvey Bunker, obviously a 17-year-old academy graduate, looked solid in midfield and kept things ticking over. Were you pleased with his performance?
Yeah, pleased with all of them. With the young players, it's getting that balance now. Do we send them out on loan to get some real men's football for 3 or 4 months, or we keep them around the group and work with them? We had 2 15-year-old boys on the bench tonight as well, who've done brilliant in the academy in Jack Carter and Finn Bell. So it was good for them to get some experience on a match day in and around the first team.
Yeah, we did a little bit of maths at half time and realised that those 3 young boys on the bench had a combined age of 47. That's another example of the youth that you're bringing through and how important it is.
Yeah, the club's in really good health with our young players, and it's important that we keep pushing those. But when the season starts on Saturday, we've got to make sure we're getting results, because we want to be up and around it this year.